Hey comrades, Kami-sa Bro here today with King of Dragon Pass. That's right. This game is created by HeroCraft, and I don't even know where to start. There's a lot to talk about this game. So, I guess to give my summed up opinion of the game, let me just go ahead and tell you that it is quite phenomenal. This is a really cool game. There's a lot going on. There's so much going on here in this game. And for something that's just, you know, kind of like a text adventure type, you wouldn't think there is. However, HeroCraft has very finely made a game that is just very in-depth. That's a text adventure with lore, with a universe behind it that you can actually, it's not only beautifully depicted through the artwork in the game, but also through the deep lore that exists here as well. For example, let's actually just go ahead and click on the lore tab here. These are all stories, all of them, and this isn't even all the ones I've found so far. There's history and culture, each one of these with a pretty decent article to go along with it. Now when you click them, and I don't know if my recording software is actually going to record this, but when you do that, it actually takes you to a Steam window, and you can sit here and read all about that particular subject that you're interested in. Now there's all sorts of things to read, and the lore behind this world is not exactly, it's very, it doesn't feel overdone, basically. Like, this feels like a very living, breathing universe they've created here that is incredibly unique as far as it goes. It doesn't follow, you know, your usual tropes of knights and wizards and all that stuff. Yeah, sure there's dragons and sure there's trolls, but it seems to be more of a unique take on it. It's very focused on clans and tribes and all sorts of things like that, where normally you have empires and kingdoms and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Now, there's clearly fantasy here, and like you'll meet as you play the game various different peoples and at times beast people. I actually met a clan of duck people who were paying literally ducks, who are paying tribute to my clan here. So, I don't really want to go so much in depth that I explain the lore or anything behind the game. I feel like a big part of this game is actually sitting here, playing it, learning it, figuring it out, and figuring out what's going on, like, in the world. That's one of the biggest, and probably something that I really like about this game. So I'm just going to talk about a couple of mechanics here or there, and I'm going to give you some comparisons as to what this game makes you think of. The biggest one is if you've ever played Romance of the Three Kingdoms 10. This game is very similar to that, except it's more, the choices you can make here are far more in-depth. So let's just try to get one event to happen. Normally if we just end our turn it will, so let's see. There we go. Here's an example of a narrative story that's about to happen. So, nobles from the Heron clan come in their formal finery to tell you that they intend to kill as many of you as they can. Because we have told you this, it won't be secret murder, which is a crime. We will kill you legally, which you deserve because you have offended us in countless ways. No longer can we allow your insults and transgressions against us to go unanswered. We will answer them in blood. Whew, pretty intense, right? It's an interesting way to start off our first freaking turn. Well, anyway. So, we have a ring of advisors. It's literally called the ring. And these are all advisors who give you their opinion based on how you should react to certain things and how you should manage your little tribe. So, our first one is Lycan. It would be good if others thought them villains and sided with us. So, he supports the compose a poem portraying them as cruel villains. Or Colbrast. They'll be insulted if we offer them less than 25 cows. Offer them gifts. When Bad King Ugraine was mighty, he started no feud he did not end. But when he fell from Orlan's favor, his many feuds ended him. So kind of like somebody who doesn't want to give their opinion on how to do this, but essentially giving you kind of a tip that, you know, maybe we shouldn't go to war with everybody who wants to kill us. In this case, maybe we should try to make friends with these guys, is kind of what I would take away from that. Alright, so Olorant says, it is easier to compose a hateful poem than an amusing one. Harder still to turn hard hearts soft. So compose a poem portraying them as cruel villains, compose a poem portraying them as fools, compose a poem praising their honor. So essentially, you know, just saying he's in favor of composing a poem. And then Venena, a well-phrased poem could rally our people, gain support from other clans, or turn hate to love. Okay, poem. If they feud with us, we will lose a few cows. If we make peace with them, we will lose many cows. Okay. And then, these people are worried. Though they need not be, we are stronger than the Harani. Okay, so we have gone through all of our people. So it's time for us to make a decision on this particular thing here. You can go and read the saga, which is basically a list of past events to tell you what's gone on, to maybe give you an idea of how you should go about. You can go into the manual, which again takes you to the Steam screen, and you can go read further details and so on, if you want. But we're not going to do that. What I think we'll do is we will try our best to get along with the Heron. So, we can compose a poem praising their honor, and let's see how that works out for us. The nobles were moved to tears by Lycan's eloquent history of their clan. They said they would call off their feud, but warned us that any further bad actions on their part would erase the beauty of the poem we had made for them that day. So, we have definitely avoided a war with another clan who quite clearly wanted our blood. So good job there. And looks like another event happened. You notice Slara had a fine baby boy. He looks just like Coral the Poet. The more you play, you'll figure out who Coral the Poet is. So, that's kind of a basic idea of what you're doing. There's magic in the game. There's sacrificing cows and whatnot. There's actually managing your population. As you can see, we have farmers, children, weapon thieves, nobles, crafters, hunters, and thralls. Thralls are basically slaves, which I don't keep. I tend to free all the thralls I get. You can trade with the other nations in the game. See, these are the other tribes that exist. You can also go to war with them, raid. You can also fortify your position and build things, as you can see here. Again, they give you ideas of what you should build, what you should do, but I think it's pretty obvious what you should do. And then you can explore. You can also further explore the region. As you can see, I've explored up here, and we can take like our army, or some of our guys anyway, and send them out there to explore. So we're going to do that, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, so an event has happened while our dudes are exploring. A delegation from the Hjord clan arrived. Before we learned their mission, there was a disturbance in the clan hall. Arnbord made lecherous remarks about Disrata, and her sister, Orngarin, one of our weapon thanes, drew her sword and had to be restrained from attacking Arnbord. Luckily, there was no breach of hospitality, but the Hjordlings are furious. I've always had problems with these guys. So, what do I think our guys should do? This will eventually blow over, but it will take time for tempers to cool. We should send them on their way with gifts. Asking Arnbard for an apology would not be out of place. Boys will be boys. Fighting won't settle anything. The women of this clan deserve to be treated like Ornlanth treated Arnalda, not like Yelm treated her. That is something that you need to read. You can actually read about in the lore. Again, they have the full histories and the stories of their gods laid out in this game. So you can know everything about this civilization or these people so that you know what he means. And that's, again, something that's so cool. They've so finely crafted this absolutely beautiful universe. And again, with the artwork, with the storytelling, with the mythology of it, it's absolutely, it's beautiful, literally beautiful how they've done this. But anyway, let's see. So Minara thinks hospitality is sacred to the gods. If Orngarin had wounded Arnbord, they would have withdrawn their favor from us. If she had slain him, they would have cursed us. And then Varsens, he's our military guy. If both parties agree, a duel would not violate hospitality. I think that Arnbord and Orngarin are pretty evenly matched. So, what I think I will do is I will ask the Hjordlings to return later. And we will give them gifts. We'll give them some goods. Yeah, 20 will be fine. We'll give him 20 goods. While the Hjornlings weren't pleased to return home without accomplishing their mission, they praised our gifts. People thought the ring had at least kept a bad situation from returning worse. Okay, so basically what we did is we forestalled things for a little while, thankfully. So you see, this is how the game plays out. There's a lot of management going on here. You're picking options, you're doing things the right way, and as you can see, you can sit here and choose how much land is cropland, how much land is pasture, and so on. You know, it really kind of lets you customize your tribe and do what you want to do. And then at the same time, you can call in, like I said, magic. You've got a whole pantheon of gods to choose from who can really, you know, assist in various different things. Like Ornland here, can do lightning, deals out more wounds in battle, or he can do rain, which helps raise our crops. We can build temples to him, as you can see, but we've already built quite a few, so we don't need to build any more. Or we can take Mangor, Earthshaker and Mother of Dinosaurs. She is Arnalda's grim sister. So we could build if we wanted to. Oh, I guess we can't build one to her. Alright, well, let's try Eldelia, God of Hunting. Can we build one to him? No? Jeez, okay, well, we can sacrifice to him. You get the idea. There's certain ones you can build to, and there's certain ones you can't. For example, Hemakt is the god of war and death. So we could build a shrine to him, and it would cost us 10 goods, and it would give us an annual maintenance of 4 goods and 2 cows. 2 cows because that's how many cows we sacrifice to him per year. That's right. You'll also find items in the game that basically become clan items. You also have to be able to manage the mood of your farmers and weapon things, because the farmers will be upset if it feels like you're showing a lot more favoritism to the soldiers than you are to the people. So you'll have to give them gifts, you have to give them goods and so on, to show that, hey, I'm not showing favoritism or whatever. You can hold feasts and invite your neighbors to see what happens. Matter of fact, let's see what happens with a medium-sized feast. Okay, nothing. Alright, well, good. It went along smoothly. If we end our turn, Asborn's exploration by the northwest is attacked by a group of bandits. His forces are slightly outnumbered. What should Asborn do? We could try to avoid a fight, kill as many bandits as possible, or bluff his way past them. Let's try to bluff his way past. Asborn yelled at heart-stopping death whoop and swung his sword in a wide arc. The rest of the escort did likewise, and the bandits retreated. Then Asborn shouted at them to stay away, telling them that he was a magical warrior, and would curse anyone who harmed any of his group. The bandits melted back to wherever they had crept out from. Oh, and look, something else happened. The exploration mission to the northwest has returned. Alarine, one of the weapon thanes you sent on the mission, reports that the area is full of dragon newts. We found one interesting place there, a temple of sorts, had a silver statue of a dragon with gems for eyes. It must be very valuable. Let's send a group there to steal it and bring it back. So, what do our people think? There's a chance to improve our relations with the Hjord clan. Even if mercenaries manage to outwit and outfight the dragon newts, they simply take the treasure for themselves. Some say that the dragon newts worship dragons, others say they worship in order to become dragons themselves. A well-made poem will give cheer to the warriors and increase our fame. We could trade such a statue for many cows. This sounds like another way to pull farmers away from the harvest and lose them forever in some foreign place. It is a tricky situation. The more men we send, the more likely the dragon newts are to discover them. But if the party is discovered, they will need many men to successfully fight the dragon newts. Yeah, so it's not a very easy thing, and it's very clear that my guys are kind of, they're not too good on this one. They don't really know. I guess the majority kind of say compose a poem to commemorate Alarine's adventures, so let's do that, and it makes our warrior morale go up. Everyone said it was an excellent poem to increase our fame, so that's cool, that worked out. And it looks like we have another event. 2 warriors from the Inhalen clan visit with their clan trickster, Penterist. Our elders know you have no trickster, so they thought that Penterist could join the Jubilee clan and serve you. Penterist hops up and down excitedly, then recites the names of your 3 most distinguished ancestors. I don't trust this. How come nobody ever wants us to do all our weeding? Trickster in the ring, we could allocate more magic to hero quests or sacrifice to Ermal. It is possible, then you should be adopted into another clan. We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, so it seems the majority of people think we should accept him. So let's accept him and see what happens. His hint a gift would be in order. Do you offer them any gifts? Yeah, sure, we'll give you some goods. There you go. Pinterest solemnly pledged the bondsman oath to Lycan. For a week, he followed him around everywhere until Lycan said, "Stop dogging my footsteps." To everyone's surprise, Pinterest transformed into a white dog and ran off, barking wildly. He was never seen again. However, some of our herders swore that several cattle had been chased into our herd by a dog. Interesting. So kind of what ended up happening there is we traded some of our goods for cattle. So yeah, crazy stuff. It's an interesting game. I very, very much like this, and I highly suggest it. Highly suggest it. Even if you're not really into text-based adventure games or whatever, I can understand that and I can appreciate that. But at this point, I really think this game is worth your time and worth your effort to actually put in, to learn how it works, to learn more about the incredibly in-depth lore that exists in the game, and to really give it a chance, because this is a damn good game. And you can tell that the people who actually created it, HeroCraft, put so much work and effort into it, from the artwork to the balance to the absolutely ridiculous amount of events. I've yet to get the same event twice. It's crazy. And I probably even don't let my time fuel you on the game so far. I've probably put about 5 hours into this game already, and I haven't even... I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, without further ado, definitely, I recommend this game, for sure. Definitely recommend it. And, yeah, I mean, that's about it. It's a damn good game, and it's worth your time and your money. So, this has been Kami-Sa Bro, and I will see you all next time.